Hello everyone and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. A couple weeks ago we told you about the upcoming trial of one Douglas Mackey, patriotic meme maker, who was arrested for publishing memes about Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. Mackey put up goofy posts encouraging people to text Hillary to a number in order to vote for her and thus avoid lines. That was the joke. Of course, the whole thing was a spoof and a goof, akin to the practice back in the old days of telling your opponent's supporters to be sure and get out and vote on Wednesday, when of course the election was on the day before, on Tuesday. It's been part of American politics for centuries. By way of update, last week, Mackey was found guilty of interfering with citizens' sacred right to vote, and is now awaiting sentencing and could face 10 years behind bars. Church Militant has been watching this case very, very closely. Here are about 75 pages of research, including the government's argument and its prosecution against him, because we know a lot of the behind the scenes of this story, a story that could end up setting precedent in not only canceling free speech, which of course goes on a lot, but actually imprisoning you for it. Douglas posted his satire memes a week or so before the 2016 election, where Trump defeated Hillary. Then, when Biden won in 2020 and was sworn in on January 20th, 2021, an indictment against Mackey was handed down 2 days later, and he was arrested later that week. The timeline says it all. The chair in the Oval Office was still warm from Trump when Biden's DOJ went and arrested Mackey for posting a joke meme. The backstory is that the DOJ was itching all during the Trump years to arrest, charge, and convict Mackey, but they held off, waiting in the wings. No sooner had old brain-dead Brandon gotten in than they went racing after the young man. Later media reports revealed the Department of Justice, which is a joke if there ever was one, had been plotting for years trying to gin up a test case whereby they could actually throw someone in prison for his political postings. We know Giant Tech and Biden and the alphabet agencies all conspired to cancel and deplatform anyone they could about anything they didn't like being challenged, but now we have just entered a whole new level. Understand, this case was laid as a blueprint to set a precedent to enable federal agents and agencies to come after you if you post something they label as disinformation and can twist around to suggest you are threatening someone over something. Either their right to vote or not feel offended or essentially anything. This ruling gives them the excuse they want to literally put you in prison. And clearly they are not kidding. Just ask Douglas Mackey. He's scheduled for sentencing in August, and again, he could step into prison a young man and emerge a middle-aged man, all for a joke meme about Hillary. Are you listening? It's one thing to cast about for a test case. It's completely something different to strike gold with it. Mackey was tried and convicted in the Trump-friendly, Hillary-hating confines of Brooklyn, so we're of course certain the jury was completely unbiased. His legal team says you can count on an appeal and are at least expressing confidence they will ultimately prevail, but no legal team predicts they will lose, so there's that. Why is Church Militant keeping a careful eye on all of this, all of it? Because given the current climate, absolutely nothing is off the table when it comes to commies who hold almost all the cards now. And if you think you can venture into the public square and open your mouth for justice, freedom, or faith, and you don't think you won't end up on someone's target list, well, then you need to learn to say leaked FBI report. In older times, we might have called this the noose tightening. Today, we can just say it's a dangerous road and becoming increasingly more dangerous. It makes you stop and think. In the days of the Roman persecutions, all you were asked to do was just offer that little pinch of incense right there. That's all, a little pinch of incense to the gods. No big deal. But the truth was, it was a big deal. It spelled the difference between apostasy and martyrdom. There aren't that many martyrs from those days, a relative few. But many more gave up the faith and they bowed down to Caesar. So as we approach the holiest days of the year, ask yourself, will you not say what needs to be said when it needs to be said, even if it's a joke, for fear of the feds and going to jail? The entire point is to make you give up your convictions, your faith, at least publicly expressing them. Mackey's, as we said, was just the blueprint. If he doesn't win the appeal, you're next. God love you. I'm Michael Voris.